So you'll probably have to just tick that little box or accept that. And we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So any seat that feels good for you. You can sit on a block. You can sit in a kneeling position if that feels nice. You can sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. Just find a shape that feels nice for you. And then very gently closing down the eyes, extending through the spine, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, bringing a slight tilt of the chin towards the chest, and starting to deepen your breath. So just using these few moments to arrive in your body and to give yourself permission to spend the next 30 minutes with yourself, feeling the feeling of the shapes, not worrying about what they look like, but just focusing on the feeling. So taking a couple of more breaths, just feeling the rising and falling of the body as you breathe. And just accepting that the past has already been and the future hasn't happened yet. So just being with yourselves in the present moment. And letting that be enough. Let's take one more big inhale together. Exhale through the mouth to release something. Gently blinking open the eyes. Let's inhale our arms up towards the ceiling. Exhaling them back towards the mat. 2 more like that. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Last one. Inhaling up. Let's bring the right fingertips to the mat, the left arm up and over the body, reaching it away from you, stretching it over your ear. And then inhale, coming back up, left fingertips down, right arm up and over. Really stretching through that side body. Feel your right heel, your right hip pressing into your right heel. 1 more each side, inhaling up, reaching up. And last side, left fingertips down, right arm up and over. So just coming back through center, just giving the shoulders a little bit of a shrug one way, then the other. And then coming onto all fours. So we're going to come into an early camel shape. So knees are hip distance apart, knees under hips. Let's bring our hands to our hips for this. Squeezing the glutes to open through the front of the legs. And then lifting the body up and then leaning back as if you're reaching over a beach ball. Don't worry about dropping the neck for now. We're just getting used to this shape for today. And then maybe we're going to bring the right fingertips towards the right heel, left arm up. And then swapping to the other side. So left fingertips to the left heel, right arm up. So you can take about 5 each side in this shape. If it feels nice and you want to bring your seat towards your heels and bring your hand across the floor and open up from the floor in dancing camel. That's a little bit more intense. So either just moving side to side with the breath, which is absolutely lovely for this time of the class, or doing your dancing camel. You can try the dancing camel if it doesn't feel nice. of course, don't do it. Practicing with compassion and kindness to yourself and to your body. So I've lost count. I hope someone's counting. Maybe one more each side. And then coming back to stillness. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And let's move through a few cat-cows. So dropping the belly to the mat, tilting the hips up to the ceiling, opening through the chest for cow pose. And then pressing yourself away from the earth, rounding your back towards the ceiling, tucking the hips in, like angry cat. Inhale the other way. Let your hip lead the movement. Exhale, rounding in. We'll do one more like that. Opening through the chest. Exhale, pushing away from the floor, really letting your upper back round up towards the ceiling. And then just bring your left fingers to point your knee towards your knees and your right fingers to point towards your knees. We're just going to open up through the front of the forearm and the wrist. And we're just going to bring our hips back towards our heels. You don't have to sit on your heels, but just feeling that nice stretch through the forearm and the wrist. If you've got trouble with your wrist and it doesn't feel nice, definitely don't do it. Just keep your fingers facing forward. And then inhale, coming up. Turning your fingers back towards the front of the mat. Pushing up through the shoulders and the rounding the upper back. Let's reach the right leg behind us, straightening through the right leg, taking the arch out of the lower back. And then exhale, right knee to your right tricep. And then exhale the leg back, opening into the hips. Next time, knee towards your nose or your chest, round up through the upper back. Exhale, reaching the leg back, really trying to flatten the lower back here so it's not arching. Knee to tricep, reaching it back, knee in towards your nose. Really draw the belly in and round your shoulders and then come back into your all fours. Just give the hips a little bit of a wriggle side to side. You can do a cat-cow or two. Just bringing some relief into the body. And then we'll exhale the left leg back. So extend the left leg back first. And then curl the knees towards the nose. Might be very different one side to the other. Reaching the left leg back, left knee to left tricep. Stretching it back. Try and keep the rest of the body still. Knee to chest, round through the upper back. Reach the left leg back. Last one. Left knee to tricep. See if you can touch it, belly to spine. Extend the leg back. And coming back onto all fours. Let's just do a little cat-cow, a little side to side. And then we're going to lift our right leg behind us, stretching the right leg back, belly to spine, and step the right foot towards the right hand. We're going to come into a runner's lunge. So you can have your fingertips on the mat, lifting up the back leg, or having the back knee down. Just giving your hips a little bit of a shake here, side to side. And then start to push through the front foot, coming into your half Hanuman. So not locking out the front knee, but reaching the hips back. Maybe just looking forward, belly to spine, and then moving forward again. I think it's probably a bit easier with the knee to the mat. Let's see how you go. So just doing 2 or 3 more like this in your own time. One movement to breath. Last one together, coming forward and then placing the left hand down, pushing through the back feet, opening up into a simple twist. So you can have your back knee on the mat if you want to, but opening the chest to the right side, lifting the top arm up. And then let's bring the right hand back down, step our right foot back into plank pose, pulling the belly to the spine, rounding up through the upper back, zipping the inside of the legs together. And then exhaling, knees to the mat, pushing back, child's pose. Just taking a breath here, bringing your forehead to the mat, heels, hips towards the heels. Just letting the breath settle. And then inhale, coming forward again to all fours. Reaching the left leg back, extending it behind you. And then stepping the left foot outside or behind the left hand, coming into your runner's lunge. So keeping the knee on the ground, really walking that right leg out behind you. And then coming into your half Hanuman, half splits. Belly to spine, try and just look forward tonight so that we're keeping a flat back. Exhale, coming forward, half Hanuman. Runner's lunge. Exhaling, half Hanuman. One more, coming forward, looking forward. And last half Hanuman here. And then coming forward, tucking the back toes, lifting the left hand up, simple twist. Opening the chest towards the left side of the mat. Lifting yourself out of the hand that's on the floor. And then left hand down, stepping back into your plank pose, zipping the inner seams of the legs, squeezing the glutes together. Trying to pull your belly button into your spine. And then bending the knees, start to walk your hands the whole way back towards your feet. Coming onto your fingertips, feet hip distance apart. Inhale to halfway lift, looking forward. Exhaling to fold. You can have your hands on a block if the earth feels far away, or fingertips to the mat. Exhaling, forward fold. Let's bend the knees, sweep the arms up and overhead, maybe a little back bend here, palms touch overhead, and then coming back, fingertips to the mat or your block in your forward fold. Just let the head hang for a second, maybe give the neck a bit of a shake, no, or a bit of a nod, yes. And then let's make the journey back to the top of the mat. So coming onto your hands, we're going to lower ourselves all the way through plank onto the mat. So you can bring your knees down first if you like, lowering your tummy onto the mat. So bringing your arms beside you, elbows to the mat, we'll come into a few cobra poses. So inhale, squeezing the shoulders together, opening through the chest, squeezing the glutes. Exhaling, coming down. Two more cobra like that. Inhale, rolling up, opening the chest. Exhale, coming down. One more. Feel each vertebra moving if you can. And exhaling, coming down. So do 3 more like that, or the option is to do the full Shalabhasana. So reaching the arms behind us, extending the legs, pointing the toes, and then rounding yourself back as if someone's pulling your hands behind you, maybe lifting the legs up. Imagine you've got a little blueberry underneath your belly button and you don't want to squash it. That's the feeling of the engagement of the tummy to the spine. And then exhale, coming down. Just taking a break for a second. Hands one above each other, forehead down to your hands. And just take a deep breath here. Watching the breath return to normal. Letting go of any thoughts or behaviors or patterns that aren't serving you. Practicing with curiosity tonight. Let's inhale, bringing our hands underneath the shoulders. Push back up onto the knees. Tuck the toes. Lifting the hips up. Downward facing dog. We're not here for long. So just pedaling one foot, then the other, tilting the hips up towards the ceiling, moving your body away from your hands. So you try and make an A shape or an inverted V. Inhale, lifting the right leg up. Let's step the right foot behind or next to the right hand. And we're going to come up into our high lunge. So find your balance, separate the feet so that they further apart than you think. And then bend into the right knee and push through the ball of the back foot. Belly into the spine. From there, we're going to move our left arm forward, right arm back, making a nice big open T shape. Right hand down onto your sacrum or the back of your thigh, opening through the chest, reversing the shape. From there, we're going to bring our left elbow outside our right knee, coming into a twist. This is strong on your hips or anything like that. You can step the feet wider apart and you don't have to come into such a deep twist. But pushing the hands if you're in that shape. From there, we're going to move our weight forward onto our right foot, coming onto the tippy toes of the back leg, engaging the back leg, lifting the back leg up into warrior 3 for a breath, and then gently stepping the back foot forward so we're in a twisted chair. So coming back into the shape, if you've come out of it, your feet can be hip distance apart. Just make sure your feet are under your hips. And then we're going to try something different tonight. So we're going to press the weight into the left foot, come onto the tippy toes of the right foot. And then without even thinking about it, pushing the right thigh into the elbow into the thigh, just see if you can stand up. Flexing that foot. Very nice, guys, really good. From there, bringing your hands to heart center, extending the right leg. Maybe lifting the arms up. Steadying the gaze. Maybe lifting the right leg a little bit higher. And then bending the knee into the chest, giving it a little bit of a squeeze, coming into your tree pose. So anywhere your tree pose is, your toes might be on the floor, it doesn't matter. We're just coming into stillness, finding your breath, feeling the connection with the breath, and letting the gaze be soft. From there, you can stay in tree pose, that's always an option, or you can bring your knee back to your chest and either come into a wide figure 4 bending the standing knee, or eagle legs, crossing the right leg over the left. Either way, lifting up the arms, maybe bringing the right arm under the left, finding your eagle arms. It's all in the contraction of the squeezing of the thighs together, engaging the belly to the spine, lifting the elbows away from you. Beautiful. And when you're ready, just coming into your forward fold. Bending the knees, belly to the spine, maybe giving the hips a little bit of movement from side to side. Maybe walking your hands around to the outside of the right foot. Letting the head hang there. Collecting the breath. Maybe walking your hands over to the other side. One more big breath in. Exhale to let something go. Inhale back to center. Slowly rolling yourself up, chin to chest. Chin comes up last. Sweeping the arms up overhead. Watching the fingers touch, maybe a little back bend here. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Coming into your mountain pose. So feel the weight evenly in the feet. Slight engagement of the kneecaps. Slight tuck of the pelvic floor. Just take one more breath here, lowering the shoulders away from the ears. And then opening the eyes if they close and just stepping the right foot right back to the back of the mat. Coming into the other side. So bending through the left leg, pushing through the ball of the right foot. And let's inhale our arms up to high lunge, dropping the shoulders. Pushing through both feet, but energetically imagine that you're dragging the left heel towards the ball of the right foot and the right foot towards the left heel. Just notice what that does to the shape. Right hand forward, left arm back, reaching your arms away from each other. Reversing the shape, maybe finding your sacrum or the back of your right leg, leaning the top arm over your right ear. And then exhaling, coming into the twist. Right elbow outside the left thigh. Placing the hands together. If you're not doing this variation of the twist, you can definitely just stay in your high lunge. Working out what feels good for you today. Coming forward on your left foot, start to roll onto the tippy toes of the right foot. Engage the right leg. Maybe the right leg floats up into your twisted warrior 3. Otherwise, you can be in normal warrior 3 or supported warrior 3 with your hands on the block or the ground. And then when you're ready, stepping forward into your twisted chair. Making sure your feet are under your hips and then coming onto the ball of your left foot. Big bend in the right knee. We're going to stand up. Use the bind of the elbow on the thigh. Flex the left foot to bring it up. And then wherever you are, extending the left leg forward, lifting the arms up. Belly to spine. Lifting through that left leg, maybe lifting it a little bit higher. And then coming into your tree pose. Hands to heart center. Finding your balance. Definitely, if you need to, place your fingertips to a wall or a chair. Of course. Why wouldn't you? And then from there, either staying in tree or coming into your figure 4 or your eagle pose. Bending the standing knee, unless you're in tree, opening your arms out to the side, left arm under right. Finding your eagle wrap, lifting your hands up towards the ceiling, squeezing the thighs together, lifting up through the arms. Beautiful. And when you're ready, releasing, giving everything a little bit of a shake. And let's slowly come down to our seat. I can't believe where the class has gone. It's just absolutely flown. So let's lengthen our legs out in front of us. Reaching the arms forward, belly to spine. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe finding your feet, a block, and folding yourself in. Make sure you can feel that belly pulling back to your spine. And just take a few breaths here, letting the breath settle, noticing the state of the mind, noticing the emotions that unexpectedly come up when we start to move our hips or come into shapes that might challenge us. We all love the shapes we can do easily and hate the shapes that we can't, but often that's where our work is. Inhale, slowly rolling yourself up back to a seat, chin to chest. Chin comes up last. And then leaning your hands forward, start to curl yourself down onto your back. Coming down as slowly as you can. Exhaling, lying down onto your back. Giving your knees a little bit of a squeeze, a slight rock side to side, massaging out through the lower back. And then opening your arms out to a T, lowering your knees over to the left side, coming into a twist. Any variation, you can have your knees curled up towards you, you can cross one leg over the other. Just exploring what feels good in your twist tonight. Couple of breaths here. And then inhaling back to center, just making sure you've got your spine in the center of the mat and exhaling over to the other side. Softening as you exhale. One more inhale here. Letting it go. Inhale, coming back to center. Extending your legs and your arms down the mat. Palms face up. Taking a big inhale. Exhale to release the practice. Coming into a few moments of deep rest. for your body and your mind. I'll let you know when it's time to wake up. Softening the facial muscles, feeling your shoulders heavy on the mat. Noticing the support from the earth. Softening the belly. Softening the mind. On the next inhale, slowly starting to deepen the breath. Maybe bringing some movement to the fingers and the toes. Maybe stretching your arms up overhead and reaching your legs away from you. And then gently rolling over onto one side. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow. Just taking a quick moment, scan the body, scan the shape of the mind, noticing what's changed since you started the practice tonight. And then very gently making your way up to a seat. You can stay on your side a little bit longer or as long as you want, really, if you prefer. And then coming up to a seated position when you're ready. Fingertips on the mat beside you, grounding into the earth. Let's inhale our arms up overhead, watching the fingers touch. Keep the palms slightly apart, maybe feeling a bit of warmth or energy between the palms. And then as you exhale, dragging that energy towards your heart center. And then placing the palms together. Inhaling to open the chest, gazing up. Exhale, forehead to fingertips, thumbs to the heart. Thank you for your efforts, your energy, your practice today. Namaste. Thanks, guys. I'm just going to stop the recording.